Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashiem. Today's front squat workout is super high volume. It's cluster sets, 2 reps, 3 mini sets, 5 big cluster sets. So that's a total volume of 30 reps. You guys can see the sets, the weights that I took for each set. The first one I took 275 pounds. I'm including the entire cluster set of 3 minutes for the first 3 sets because they're larger weights, and then for the last 2 sets, in which the weights are slightly smaller, I've edited it down to just the reps. So this workout was very difficult. And so essentially, what happens in a cluster set is you do a couple of reps. In this case, you do 2 reps, you take a break, you rest for a little bit, as you can see me walking around doing, and then you do 2 more reps, then you take another break, and then you do your last 2. So it's 1 2 break, 3 4 break, 5 6. So each cluster set has a total of 6 reps. I had Kanishk minding me with my rest times. He used to count every 10 seconds. I believe the first mini break I took of 20 seconds. The second one I think went up to 30. I'm not fully sure, but it's around that time period. 275 for me is a is a very big number actually. My max on front squats is 315. So you take 275 of 315 and you get 87%. That's a lot of weight. It's not lightweight at all, and I'm really happy I was able to crank it out. So as I was saying, 275 is a big number. I'm sorry if you heard any panting. That was my dog that decided to that got all excited seeing me do this little audio recording. So, like as I was saying, for front squats in general for me are not a they're not a brute exercise. In fact, actually, it's weird because front squats are very technical, and at the same time they're very it's like brute force that I gotta use in that. The way I do them, I make sure that the weight is completely situated right on my mid back. So the weight, it balances itself there, and then I'm able to. That's why if you notice my reps, I sometimes have a rounded back, where it appears to be a rounded back, but it's not really me leaning any forwards or anything like that. It's just everything is sunk in, and my core tightness is still there. It's just the weight is just there, very close to my mid back, and then obviously during the squat it gets closer and closer to my center of gravity. But this is all technical stuff that I don't want to get into. So this is set number 2 with 275, and like I mentioned, 275 I have for both the 275 sets and the 255 set. You got the entire cluster set before you. Well, we're about to start set 3, and that's going to be a difficult set. 255 for 2 and 3 mini sets. So I'm going to be making a little video podcast on this regarding periodization. I have a lot of people ask me how come I'm able to go heavy on deadlifts week in and week out, and why I'm not cycling through various intensities. The thing is, and I just want to give you a little preview over here. Actually, just go rattle off the points maybe. The thing is, if you're someone like me whose only activity is lifting weights, and within that niche uh, activity that I do, because after all, this is like a backyard sport, so and I'm not even competing. So in any case, within this little niche activity, the only uh, the only exercise that I truly focus on that's used for training aggressiveness, in which I want to lift maximal weights week in and week out, is the deadlift. So if I, for example, if I was a power lifter, then I would need to cycle intensity because I'm constantly balancing two skills, right? I'm balancing the squat, I'm balancing the deadlift. So I got to make sure that when my squat is when I'm going really heavy on the squat, I got to put my deadlift on maintenance mode, and I got to work on different aspects of the deadlift, and vice versa. But if I'm someone who only cares about the deadlift, I don't care about any of the other lifts. So because I only care about the deadlift, my periodization isn't very conventional. So you will see me that you will see that I'm able to lift my max week in and week out, and I can still get away with it because I've trained myself to be able to do that. Eric has trained me to be able to do that. My training plan involves me basically working within a weight range, getting really good at it, being able to add volume, being able to handle work certain workload, etc. And then I build on it, and then once I dominate that weight range, I move on to the next one. It's as simple as that. So if unless you're someone, and so this is what I believe, unless you're someone who is competing in powerlifting, if you're just someone who likes to lift weights, if you just like squats, then you just then train squats and make your training revolve around making you a better a squat lifter. So I was going to say squatter, but that seems derogatory. Uh, so yes, if you want to be good at squats, then train to get good at squats. Having said that, if you're someone who has many physical like in the sense that you're doing different activities, you got MMA and you got this, then I can understand why you would need to balance it all out. But in my case, I don't need to. So like again, this is set 4 and set 5. It's just the main weights. That's it, just the main reps. So 225 for 2, then 225 for 2, and 225 for 2. That's set 4. Oh yeah, I'm done with my little talk on periodization. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But I'm going to be making a little video podcast on the Lift Big channel with information on that. Yep. Last, this is rep number 5, and then rep number 6. There we go. So on the fifth set, I wanted to take 185 because I was gone after set 4. It's really hard on me. But then I decided that no, I don't want to drop below 200 pounds. So I took 205, and I did my last cluster set with 205. There's an old lady who's standing in the background who was very fascinated with this sort of weird. Because Kanishk was calling out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she thought, oh, 6 reps, but he's taking a break. Is he taking it easy? Anyway, not easy at all. So thank you very much for watching, everyone, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot, guys.